Hey, what's up guys? Raids here. Today we've got a big announcement on the upcoming summer update, Palworld version 0.6. Now it has a name. We knew what the version number was, but now it has a name. Tides of Terraria coming this summer. Summer, as you guys know, generally speaking, in most areas starts around June. In the US, it's June 1st. Generally, when people think about summer, it's June. So we might be getting it actually fairly soon. Not a lot of text info to go off. I'll be brief and to the point. Not a lot of info to go off from text, aside from saying new islands and new pals. So we'll be going over what the screenshots actually show us with regards to potentially new pals and new enemies to face. So let's get this out of the way. The very obvious thing here, we've got a giant eye, which this screenshot is the one that gives us the most detail about what might be coming. So let's get a couple things out of the way here. Number one, I am not convinced that this is a new raid boss because of the theme. We've got good versus evil. We've got the potentially a protagonist player character in the middle there with the Terraria looking sword. I don't play Terraria, but if you do, please let me know. But this looks to me like a Terraria looking sword facing off a giant eyeball, aka a force for evil, in the new content that we'll be facing. I'm not convinced that this is a raid boss. This looks to me more like an overarching theme of good versus evil. But if it is a new raid boss, and again, the model doesn't look too raid bossy, it looks kind of departed from anything we've seen so far, but it could be a pal. If it is a new raid boss, unfortunately, it seems like we're not getting away from the dark theme. Potentially dark, neutral, or dark water, or just water neutral. Those are the three that I'm expecting if it is a raid boss. But again, not 100% convinced that it is. Again, interesting that we've got the player character over on the right, which is the red-haired girl. Player character over on the right means she's losing prominence here to somebody else like Bjorn and Bastigor facing off against a new evil. But potentially it could just be that the new tower boss is this guy with the sword and a pal of his own facing off against this new guy, and then it's straight up like new tower boss and new raid boss right here on the same screenshot. Potentially could be. We've got Anubis somewhere on the right. And when we've got Zoe, Anubis, nothing of note here, just a pal with the player character. And then Zoe was teased as a new companion that you can deploy. Not sure what's going on with her trigger finger there on the bottom left. It's kind of weird. But Zoe holding a Gatling gun as a deployable partner that's going to help you potentially in the place of a pal slot. You can deploy Zoe, or perhaps as an accessory or something in your inventory, but potentially just something in your team. Once you have her there, she's going to fight alongside you and shoot, which is cool to see. Alternative for you having to shoot your own guns. So that's awesome to see. But again, not 100% convinced it's a raid boss. But if it is just in your face and they're just laying it all out there, then the most likely thing is going to be that this is a dark slash something raid boss. Maybe even dark lightning or something like that. And water, we're getting a tower boss that's probably going to be, I want to say, water. It might be this guy with his own pal that we haven't seen yet. This guy on top of a pal, and he's like a water type. And then the raid boss might be dark neutral or neutral lightning or something like that. We don't really have a way of knowing based on this. But those are my predictions based on the screenshots. Unfortunately, it's looking like if it is a raid boss, we're not getting away from the dark theme. It means rip Shadowbeak. Shadowbeak is going to be shelved for yet another content update. So moving on to the information here. It just says a lot of pals, including new pals, plural, and new islands. Plural, a chain of new islands, most likely around the size something between Faebreak and Sakurajima. Not expecting it to be the same size of Faebreak because Faebreak had a lot of dead terrain, a lot of just dead areas that have no content in it, just size for the size sake. I don't think the new ones are going to be the same size, but maybe I'm wrong. Just let me know what you think. Contents of the update will be announced across official Palworld social medias over the next 2 weeks, so we've got to pay attention to those trailers. More meaty screenshot here. We've got, let's see here, we've got definitely ice on the left. We've got ice water on the middle for sure, and then potentially ice water on the right as well, but leaning more towards water. And then the big detail here is that fishing rod indicates a new way of catching pals, potentially, or catching materials from the waters of this new continent or new islands. So it looks like potentially a move where the pocket pair is trying to get away from the pal sphere mechanic to catch pals. Might need things like fishing and other interactions with the environment to catch the new type of pal, which is good. Potentially gives them a way to move past the legal issues via design. So that's really good. Really like that. More meat here in the screenshots. We've got definitely water something on the left. Could be just water or water dark or even water ice. Potentially just water. Then we got Shark Boy over in the middle, which seems to me like just water. And then most definitely Water Dark over on the right with Tentacle Girl. Cool to see. Very last screenshot here, we've got Bangulet Lux. This could go either way. This could be a new. He could go straight to being an electric type, or going water and then gaining electric. Water electric would be an incredibly strong typing, only weak to ground really. Counters pretty much everything else. But even if he gets a really strong typing like water electric, his stats are just not that great for being a raid pal. And then in the middle, we've got Cardiro being impaled by what looks like a torture machine there, which is very strange. It's kind of weird. Maybe we're getting a new torture device building or something new to make pals do something. And then we've got Pengulet's attack on the bottom there being frozen. So indicates to me that the Cardiro variant on the right might be Cardiro Water Ice. Could be decent, but again, not something too spectacular for raids because their stat totals are just not too relevant. Seems to me more like the most likely raid alternative might be this guy on the left here. Looks like it's going to have strong stats. And potentially also Water, Dark Girl, Octopus Girl over on the right. So going back to this, I'm not 100% convinced that this is a raid boss, but if it is, and we followed the pattern from the Faybreak update, then what you'd be looking at here would be new raid boss at the top with the eye, and then new tower boss, which turns out to be the good guy that we kill. It's like usual in this game. We're pretty much the villain. We go around towers killing good people. Well, not all good people, but some. Everyone's a villain here in Palworld. Everyone kills each other for capitalism. So it could be the tower boss there at the bottom. But that's my analysis of the situation. The conclusion for raids is going to be definitely get your Azure main and Orzhok armies ready for sure. Because if it is a tower, if it is a dark and ice, a dark and water themed boss, then Orzhok is going to be a very good tank. Orzhok with Diamond Body would be a good tank. And then Azure main for dealing with the general pals around the island, as well as potentially some Penkings actually might be decent if we get a lot of water ice pals to deal with. But for sure, bring some lightning into this going in. And I'm definitely going to be going into this with a ton of defense on my player character. Not really worried about shooting. More worried about my pal damage here. Also not seeing any new guns. So pretty telling. But I'm going to make it brief and leave it at that. Going to go join the multiplayer community server we've got going on tonight. Got some content planned there. Pretty interesting stuff that me and Donna Dark Rose have been cooking up. But I will leave it at that. Please let me know what you guys think. Lots of speculation going on today. And let me know if you agree with me that this potentially might not even be the raid boss. So thank you for watching. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I will see you on the next one.